Now it's time to have a little look of the pitfalls with our styles so you don't kind of stumble too much. I have here a document where I got like 3 paragraphs. It's the same paragraphs in lorem ipsum, and I would like to style them. I have already done some styles over here. If I select my text frame, whenever I click on some of these, I'll format whatever is in that text frame. That is quite nice. If I have the text frame deselected and I click over here, I can set a new default for which kind of basic paragraph will come in. Meaning that if I make a new text frame, it will usually start with basic paragraph. But what if I would like it to start with my funky? Then I deselect all my stuff and I click on funky. I take my text tool here and I create a text box, and look, it stays on funky. Now I write with the paragraph style funky. This is how you make a default, so you can actually write whatever you want in your new text boxes. But I would like to configure this one over here, this huge paragraph. I double click because that's a shortcut. I choose funky and you can see it styles all my paragraph. I go down to the next paragraph, go for donkey, and the last one going for monkey. So I got 3 styles here. If I, for some reason, have my text frame selected and I would like to edit my funky, donkey or monkey, I want to edit the donkey. I click on it. First click actually applies my paragraph style, and a second click would actually open the box here. This is the wrong way to do it. It's very wrong to do it like this because it actually executes my style to whatever I have selected. So that is just bad. So I'll just undo this. So how do we do it? What is best practice for this one? It is kind of, I would like to edit my donkey over here. I right click on it and I can edit donkey, and it has absolutely no impact on my text frame over here, even if it's selected, because I right click on it. That is the way to do it. That is one of the most common pitfalls, that you actually select some stuff and then you double click over these to edit it, and it actually executes your style on whatever you have selected. That is just not good. So best practice, always right click, never double click. If you want to have a new default, have nothing selected, click on whatever you would like to have as a default, and it will be that default whenever you create a new text frame to write something in. Nice. That was just the small pitfalls of paragraph styles. Then you have some other paragraph style issues with our character styles. Because what if I go in here and I would like to style this word Moloria. Now when it's a character style, I need to paint it before it can be applied. I cannot just stand here and then say it has to be the one named Biggie, nothing happens. This one I need to select all the letters I would like to apply the change to. Then I go for this one, it should be Biggie, and this word Magna was only some of the word I could take, because this I can actually only take, or you have the opportunity to kind of only take some of the letters in the word. Now, this works. So if I want to change my Biggie, I go over here, I do not left click, I right click on it to edit it. And look how different it is. It actually incorporated my typeface within the first one and the second one and the third one, but it's bigger. What is actually defined here? I have only defined the size. So this one actually just bumps up the size of whatever typography I have in my paragraph styles, which is smart. If I want to color it, I can go down here and say they should all be pink. They will all be pink suddenly. Easy. I'll just say they should be this red. Then I say okay. And what about my Bigfoot over here? Let's have a look. I choose this one and say it should be the character style Bigfoot, and this one should be the character style Bigfoot, and this one. How come they all end up with this pink color? It's because it's a font error. Because in Bigfoot, I have only chosen it should be the font style round italic. And round italic doesn't make sense for this typeface and this typeface and the third typeface either, because it doesn't exist in that typeface. So this option down here only works if it actually exists in my typeface, and suddenly the named caption works in this one, but it didn't work in 2 other ones. So there's a lot of stuff to choose about here, because this is what I have all installed on this computer. But if it doesn't contain in the typeface you have selected in your paragraph style, it doesn't work. Otherwise, you can go up here and say it should be Museus Lab, for instance, and then you can define it all over, but then it will be the same all over too, apart from the color, because in this case I haven't defined any color. Whatever I haven't defined, the paragraph decides. If I have defined anything, it's the character style that actually decides what I have. So if I say it should be like the blue one, everybody will be blue like the other one. So that's just how it is. Or it should be invisible. Wow, secret letters, cool. I'll just say it should be black, or force it black. So it should never ever, I'll just cancel this one so we're back to, so we can see the errors here. So it's very important when you define a character style that it actually has a ability that your typeface actually also has. Otherwise, you will have this one, meaning that it doesn't work well. And that is just too bad. Another danger zone with character styles is that I just told you how to make a default over here. And you can actually do the same with character styles, but that is not very beneficial, because if I suddenly have nothing, I'll just ensure I have my cursor here. Now I deselect everything by taking my black arrow and click on the white paper. Now I have deselected everything. And now I can set up a new preference saying that I would like to Bigfoot to be my preference. So whenever I do a text frame, it will now write with my character style Bigfoot. As you can see, I go back to my paragraph styles and I can see that, oh, my monkey paragraph style doesn't look like my true monkey paragraph style. What if I create a new text box over here and say it should be the funky one? And it gives me also an error. Everything is suddenly formatted with my character style Bigfoot, because I accidentally set a preference. That is not good, so how can I get rid of this? Unfortunately, there's only one way. Select all of it and say none. None. It's manual. And then you need to also to ensure that your default will be changed to the standard. Take a black arrow, deselect everything. How it's looking over here, it should be none. So whenever you're using character styles, remember always to have something selected before you click on this one, so you do not accidentally create a default on character styles, because that can be quite irritating to get rid of if it happens. That is one of the major pitfalls when you're using character styles, that you suddenly create a default. Remember, when you want to edit your stuff, always right click on them. If you do the first left click, well, then you have done it. So never double click on these ones, because you actually create defaults out of it. That is how we work in InDesign with our paragraph styles and character styles. Good luck.